I thought I'd do a quick update on my one man's trash is another man's treasure. So in here we've got courgettes, and there's a courgette there just come in, that another one. I've actually had a few off this. This is a compost bin raised bed. This is another compost bin raised bed, and this has also got some courgettes. We've only just had rain, so I'm glad because things are growing again. So I've got two compost ones. That's a water tank from out of someone's roof. It's not got anything in it yet. I collect water and I just chuck it on things that need it. This one's this one's a water butt, so that you've got at the end of your greenhouse or down where a downpipe is. And I'm sure I've had something off this, can't remember what I had. There's got something on it. They're a bit prickly, some of these. This is a water butt one, and is there anything? No, there's some stinging nettles, so I've got to be a bit careful. This one has flowers, so there's something coming on it. And this one's also a water tank from out your roof space. And in here we've got all different things: pumpkins and squash, courgettes, all sorts of things. And they are growing down here. Look, we've got a courgette. Well, I think it's a curry or a festival squash, which I'm very pleased about because they're delicious and I can't wait to eat it, to be quite honest. So yeah, there's lots of things in here in the way of pumpkin squash. Then we've got a bathtub that's got lots of tomatoes in that actually came up. They're seeded ones. We haven't had any rain really, and I don't really water a lot because it's like spoiling it. Anyway, we've got a load of these, which are aubergines, or if you're in America, eggplant. No, maybe the other way around. Anyway, whichever. Then we've got some pumpkins. These are my bathtub raised beds. We've got tomatoes and more pumpkins in there. Oh, and there's peppers as well. I don't know whether they're bell peppers, can't remember what they are. Bell peppers and cayenne peppers, perhaps. They're not really doing a lot. Again, it's because I'm not really watering stuff. I know that seems a bit daft, but I just haven't got water. I have to water the polytunnel so much. This bed of tomatoes is producing quite a few tomatoes, and I've eaten quite a few already. They're very nice. Next door were some peas and sunflowers. The sunflowers went over very early because of the fact that there's no water. Then we got corn on the cob, and as my friend said the other day, knee high by the 4th of July. It's over that. That's quite good, isn't it? And the corn on the cobs are tiny, but they have got their tassels on, and so they are cross-pollinating themselves, which is great. I'm going to chuck the water out of that water tank, and a bit out of a bucket over these in a minute. And then next door was some strawberries. Didn't really work, but never mind. But these are my raised bed, bathtub raised beds, and other things. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Raised beds. My bees are doing well. Them all going in and out. Not moved them yet into their hive, which is next door, but I will do soon. This is inside my polytunnel. These tomatoes haven't ripened yet, but they are coming along quite well. And they haven't, I want to whisper it, they haven't got bottom end rot, which other ones have. I have got lots of tomatoes. I'm just going to pinch that little shoot out. People call them suckers. They're not suckers, they're shoots. And there's a load of tomatoes there that have got bottom end rot, you see. Then I've got some watermelons that are in pots, and I've got some tiger melons, and then I've got a load of peppers. Now these ones are either cayenne or they're some sort of hot spicy ones. I think they're just cayenne that have not gone red yet, because I had one chopped up at lunchtime in an omelette with a load of onion, and I had to buy the onion, and a load of tomatoes, and a pepper, and a sweet pepper that I've got growing in here as well. Lots of tomatoes. They are producing tomatoes, which is great. The ones in the ground are all fine, and some of the ones in the pots are fine, but some of them have got that bottom end rot, which is annoying. There's more. You see, these ones haven't got bottom end rot. They're really nice looking. I'm going to pick that one from my oh, that's got a bit of bottom end rot. I'll just cut it off, because that's what you can do. Things don't have to look amazing, but if they've got a little bit of rot in them, we can always chop that bit out. But that's what bottom end rot looks like. And on this bit there's like a double, there's none on it. You see there's a nice tomato there that's not got bottom end rot at all, which is great. I've also got aubergine and peppers, aubergine and melons on the floor down there. Here I've got a row of peppers, cayenne and bell peppers. There's a green bell pepper there. Don't know what colour it'll go. I'm going to leave it a bit longer. I've had 2 or 3 purple ones so far and a little red sweet one today, red pepper. Not too sure what this one is. I think this might be a chili pepper. Lots of flowers and it's quite tall, which is great. But yeah, peppers are doing well. Aubergines have got, they've just got lots of flowers on them. They haven't got any aubergines yet. Whether I'll get any, I don't know. And next we got cucumbers and melons, and they're all doing very well. And you can see there's the odd tomato. I'm going to pick that one as well today. I'll put it on the windowsill. There's another one from inside on the inside that they're in the ground. These ones, you can see some more over there. But the the cucumbers and melons are growing up this trellis really well. So look, they go right up and then they go across, and I've just sort of trained them across. I think these are either cucumbers or melons. These are cucumbers. I think these are early Burpless. They've just not tied themselves up against it yet, and they have actually produced some little tiny cucumbers, which is fantastic. I'm just going to hook that up a minute. There are melons in here, and there's some Punjabi beans, no, something like that. Anyway, they're like an Indian bean. I thought they'd be able to withstand the heat of the polytunnel, and they've started growing well. So I put them in to try and feed the other plants, so they're nitrogen fixers, so they'll absorb nitrates out of the air, which they release into the ground, so feeding the ground, which is fantastic. And yeah, I think there's a cucamelon here somewhere. This one is a cucamelon, has a funny shaped leaf, and that's growing up well. I'm just sort of training it in. More tomatoes, lots of tomatoes, and I've got tomatoes in pots. And okra. There's burgundy, and there's green, spineless green. Just like saying it like that, sorry. And then, yeah, more tomatoes. I do well for tomatoes, so I will be selling them soon. Although my friends in the pubs quite like them. I'm just I've kind of stopped drinking for a little bit because we're getting too fat. So yeah, anyway, I'm doing lots of tomatoes and they're looking really, really good. Oh god, that's terrible. There we go. So yeah, that's me in my polytunnel. Let's grab that other tomato, look. A little yellow one down there. There are a lot, like I said, but I've just got to go and find them. Seems to be quite a few this year that have got bottom end rot. I've just had to dump a few down there. I shouldn't really dump them on the ground. I need to put them in the compost, really. They fell down the pond hole there. Right, this one's got little tiny cherry tomatoes on, and they're ripe-ish. I'm going to put them in the sun for 5 minutes and see what they do. But they've not got bottom end rot, and they're in a pot. But I put them in the pot late. I potted them up basically late. There's another one there. I think these ones are Garden Pearl. I'm not 100% sure. They look very nice. It's like a slightly pinker colour rather than a completely red. Just drop one down there on that stinging hill. So anyway, yeah, I am getting tomatoes of different varieties that are on the vines. Just have a look. There's another. They got bottom end rot. I'll pick them up later. We've got some at the back here which I could see from over the way. I've just seen another one with bottom end rot in the polytunnel, in the ground, which is annoying. I can see 2 actually. There must be something missing in the soil. Perhaps a bit of Epsom salt or something. Anyway, there are some that are nice and that are ready, like these ones. And then there's a few that are getting bottom end rot, so not so many in here. Not in the ground as there are in the flower pots. So this is my little haul for today from my update of picking tomatoes in the polytunnel and showing you what I've grown in my raised beds and all sorts of things. I am going to pick a couple of courgettes, a couple of green ones. They're really small, but I don't mind because they're tasty. And I'm going to also have a couple of yellow ones that are in the pit. I call it the pit. There's 4 courgettes, 2 yellow, 2 green in the pit. And it's just a hole where the pond was in the polytunnel. But when it rains, the water kind of comes in through the ground a bit down there. So they like water, and I have had a couple of courgettes off them. It's very nice, so just sort of bring you along. I've got some mayo there and some different things, but It's been there a while from my last barbecue. Cheers. Hope everyone's well.